Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Laid on the Table podcast. Of course, I am Leah the Doll here, and we have Amir, who's our special guest today for this episode. Give it up for Amir.
What's up, everybody?
What's the deal, bro?
We have D-Lo, and of course, we have ATM Cowboy, a.k.a. Stephen L.
He with the Chinese. He with the Chinese.
He's with the
people.
Chinese now, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, riding bulls to Chinese.
Riding-
Know,
yeah.
What's that shit called? What is it called again? The Chinese app you was promoting?
Oh, Red Note. Yeah, you know,
He was big time on there.
How's that going, actually? You still on that?
I feel bad because I told them, I'm like, you know what? Even if TikTok comes back, I'm here, guys. I'm here.
You
for
know what's
y'all.
crazy?
He
They don't
lied.
TikTok
feel
came
bad.
back, and I haven't been back
He
there
lied.
since.
Leah, they hacked all of his pictures and everything he got in his phone already. They got everything.
There's a Chinese cowboy Steve running around out there right now as we speak.
Imitating you?
All that.
Of course, of course. How's everyone doing today?
Man, good.
We're good. It's
Great.
been a minute since we've
been a
all
minute.
been back here. Of course, we have a special guest here, Amir. So go ahead for the people who don't know who you are. Just tell them a little bit about what you do, your goals, things like that.
Yeah, so I'm an entrepreneur from Newark, New Jersey, 25 years old. I specialize in credit, funding, solar. I just help people fix their credit and get capital for their businesses to invest in themselves.
Okay. How long you been doing that for?
A little bit over a year now.
Okay. And it's been going good for you? Like, is it... Because, a lot of people don't give a fuck about their credit now. But, for those who want to, invest in businesses and, grow as a business, you see more of that right now? Or is it kind of just like, people here and there?
Yeah, so I see a lot of people that just come through just to fix their credit. But then I tell them, listen, all of us have dreams. We have goals that we have for ourselves. And, sometimes businesses don't really succeed because they don't have the funding. So let me show you how to get funding, because a lot of people don't understand that on the other side of 700 credit score is almost $500,000 for you and your business. So I set them up for that.
Ooh, okay. Did not know that.
Dang, that's pretty dope.
Now, what if you have a credit score of 700, but you've got 20,000 school loans that you have not paid on? What happens then?
Yeah, so it all comes down to debt to income ratio. But what I do for clients is I set them up with trade lines. You can get trade lines online, trade line supply, and you can take on someone else's credit card. Maybe it's like a $30,000, $40,000 credit card. It'll add to your credit profile, and that will allow that debt to income ratio to drop down. And then now you can go get the funding for your business.
Okay.
Y'all know what's crazy about this man? He went from a basketball superstar to just doing credit and funding. And
Yeah?
solar, right?
Yeah, so too, yeah.
That's dope.
What made you switch over?
I mean, when I was in school, I went to 4 different schools to play basketball, so I was all over. But the biggest thing was I kept on blaming everybody else around me for like shit that I was going through and shit that I was doing on the court. And I finally came to the realization my last year that I'm the problem. So I ended up dropping out of school, and I just started entrepreneur, like my journey. So this is honestly my 3rd business I've started. The first 2 didn't work out because I didn't have the funds. So I started to do like deep research and everything on how to get money, how the banks are going to give me capital. And that's what kind of led me to this path, because that's why my first 2 businesses didn't really succeed.
Okay. All right. So how old are you, by the way?
25.
25. Okay. You're still a baby. Nice.
Just
But
a
that's
little
good,
baby.
though. I
Yeah.
mean, now
He
you're
on his
doing
shit.
something. Now you know what you want to do, and you're helping people out,
Yep.
especially with their credit. So do you have, like, certain, like, packages that you offer people, or is it kind of just, like,
Good question.
people just approach you like, hey, I'm just trying to fix my credit. You
Yeah.
know, what's next, basically?
Yeah, so I have packages, but most of the time, like in the past, I was only charging about $400 or $500 for credit. But then I realized that I'm changing these people's lives, and the work that I have to do is a lot. So now I typically charge between $1,500 to $2,500 because it's a long process. It might take 2-3 months, 4 months, but it's a long process. And some people have credit that's messed up for 7+ years, and stuff doesn't come off your account for 7 years.
Right.
So my process is faster. So it's like either you're going to pay me or you'll be in the same situation. Like, as I stated, on the other side is $500,000, and maybe it's that car, or maybe it's the mortgage that you want to sign up for. Like, so I set people up to be there. So $1,500, $2,500 is what I typically charge people to get credit repair for me.
Okay. That makes sense, though.
He do have days I see him post, and he do deals and stuff like half if you do it this day and stuff like that. But that's dope, bro, that you're doing that. You know what I'm saying? You went like a totally different route. Cause I know you told me like your dad was totally different. You know what I'm saying? He's like in the streets, it's big time in the streets and all of that. But you took the totally different field, and it's dope because the field you took, like, you know, I knew he was really real with it when he said he moved here by himself and left his family. You know what I'm saying? And you paying all your bills off this. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty dope.
You
Now
have to.
with the solar, is it solar?
Solar.
Solar. I said solar. I'm sorry.
He try to make it fancy, some French shit. Solar.
That's that city vodka I'm drinking, man. That shit had you all over the place.
City vodka, yeah. Don't do that.
No, with the solar, so explain that to the people. What is solar?
Yeah, so like, the panels that go on top of your home. A lot of people don't know. A couple years ago, 2 years ago, Joe Biden passed a bill, and it was like a $1.2 trillion bill.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
So
that bill.
basically, it's raising utility bills 7 to 17% every single year. And with that bill, a lot of people have to get solar. So 96 million qualify for it. 32 million have to get it in the next 10 years. So I connect people. I teach them to do the credit, fix their credit, get funding, and invest it in the ads and define these people. And I mean, like I said, it's 32 million. There's 4 of us here right now. So even after that, I think it's 31,996,000 people that will still need it. Say we were at the top of our industry for the next 10 years. There's still 31,996,000 people that still need solar. So the market is so big that I just teach people, listen, like if you don't know what to do with your funding, let me put you onto this and I can get you to 20K, 30K a month off of this.
Nice. That's smart.
That's
Not a lot
super
of
dope.
people would think
That's super
to,
dope.
Look into that.
I've been seeing a lot of solar farms popping up.
Yeah?
Yuma, outside of Tucson. I drove by some actually. What was that? Friday? No, Thursday. Thursday I drove by some. It was a big windstorm and it was blowing them all over the place. But I mean, but I know that that's the future. We're going to the future of solar, right? It's been like that for a long time. But to your point, I remember when Biden did pass that.
Yeah.
That was like what, a couple years ago, I
about 2
think.
years ago, yeah.
Yeah, about 2 years ago. Yeah, and I saw that because I'm thinking to myself, from what it sounded like, there was like grants and stuff that came with it. So a lot of families actually could get into solar. I don't know if was that really true as well? Like, were there grant programs that worked out for it?
Yeah, so the big thing that is with solar right now, let's just say like you get 30% back on tax credit. So let's just say that the system is $100,000, the government's going to give you $30,000 for that system. And most people are never going to see that in the tax return in their lives.
Right, right.
So that changed their lives. And then as I kind of told you guys before this, like you see people with $500 bills, $1,000 bills, and you're able to cut it down to $500 or maybe $250, and now they're able to also get that tax credit. It's like a win-win for them at the end of the day.
So with Biden in office, passing the stuff that worked out for solar, how has Trump played in the part of solar?
Yeah, so he's actually also pushing it. Like he knows that that we actually need it.
Okay.
And even Elon Musk is right next to him all the time. And Elon Musk tweeted, I think like last month, about how solar energy would be the vast majority of energy in the next generation. So it's definitely, I tell people all the time, it's a gold mine. And just like in the 1900s when everybody came here to look for gold, like this is the early stages of it. So get into it now before it's too late, before everybody else is in it.
So Trump said, solar is not fake news. It's not
So
fake
let me
news.
ask you this. If you got good business credit, but your personal credit is messed up, the question I'm trying to ask is, if I'm trying to get funding, but my business credit I may have never touched my business credit, or your business credit is good, but your personal credit is not. What is some advice you can give people in that situation?
Yeah, so I would say you can always buy a shell corp. Now, let's just say you have good business credit, but you don't really have, it depends on how long the business is. So if that business is 2 years longer and you have statements, at least $10,000 a month, you can go to a bank and get $100,000 from that bank just off a line of credit. And that's what separates most businesses. So when you first start off, I teach people PG funding using their actual personal credit. But if you have a history with a business that has a long history and money coming in and cash flow, you just show that to the banks and I can get you a business line of credit. So that's the major difference.
Yo, that's cool.
So based off that, that's what you would recommend on either using their personal or business?
I personally recommend personal. That's most of the funding that I do get, but I can also do business lines of credit as well, based on buying a shell corp. But then that would cost you maybe $2,000 to $4,000 to buy that age business if you don't have that business yourself. So that's the biggest thing.
Now, what if you have a business that you've never really used, like just have an LLC that's been active for, I don't know, a couple years? Like,
if there's no income coming in, you can't really use that. But in a sense, you can create an LLC. Let's just say I can go create an LLC tomorrow, and use my personal credit and go get $100,000 from Chase.
Okay.
So I can literally like have it one day, and as soon as it's created, I can go to that bank and go get funding. So it doesn't matter how long you have the LLC for, but in terms of if you don't have good personal credit, you want to go the business route, that LLC has to be established for 2 years or longer.
Gotcha.
And I also have that income coming in.
Man, we got to talk because I got an
That's
ATM
right.
business. I got an ATM business. LLC, very active.
Yeah.
And income always coming in and out of it. Yeah, we got to talk, man, because my credit is like destroyed. And listen, for all the people saying white people got great credit, no, we don't. Okay,
He's the
God damn
first to
it.
tell you.
But I bet you was born with good credit.
Huh?
I bet
Born
you was born
with it,
What
but-
Mike Evans said, you
Nah,
was born with a 750. Little baby had big glasses and shit.
Now, if you destroy it, that's on you.
Listen, fresh out of high school, I was like, I'm destroying that shit.
Like, fuck that shit.
credit.
I
Who
don't
needs
need
So
it.
for
credit?
somebody like me and Leah, if we make good money, we got good jobs, we working a lot of hours and shit like that, we should take them checks and open up a business bank account and keep that business bank account active for the next 3 months, and that's how you get funded.
Or
Yes.
can that be a way of funding?
That can be a way, but you also, as I said, it's the personal credit. The personal credit, I feel like, is the most important with that. But typically, I tell people, hey, go start a relationship with this bank. Go start a relationship with Chase, Bank of America, whatever it may be, and you put money in that account, let it sit there. It's say minimum 2 weeks. I tell them a month will be good enough, and boom, we can go get your funding.
So what?
So
A month?
a month,
Like
Well,
what's
let
the
me go
minimum? What's the
tomorrow.
minimum? Yeah, for real, what's the minimum?
in there, like in the account,
Yeah.
I say about 2,500.
Oh,
Oh, that ain't nothing.
But even like
Yeah.
a month, like even
no,
with
me
the,
to take it. Oh, that's nothing. I ain't make that fucking
just
week
put
and
it
a
all in
half.
there. Put all the money in there. You good.
Leah like, I pay for these for the 2,500.
No. Oh, my goodness.
We fucking
This is
hills
a lot
is
of money
$1,000.
on
I don't
fucking
care.
unnecessary
Leah.
stuff.
I'm back
But
lit
I'm good
again.
with saving.
Yeah.
It's like I spend a lot, but I'm good with saving too. Like I can make $1 stretch.
So-
I've done it.
So you telling me
You've
you
been
look
there.
like that and you good at saving? Fellas, y'all chip you up.
Listen, okay, listen, look.
Y'all
I
better
said-
wipe her
I
up, but
just
don't wipe
said-
her up because we need it for this shit. So you can't
I
wipe her up.
just said I spend a lot, but I'm also good at saving.
That's
So it just
that's a
depends.
tricky ass question. I
Like,
spend a lot,
I
but I'm
could-
good at
I
saving.
could save and stretch $1, like I said, but I do spend a lot too. So it's
So if your check 2,000, you saying you would spend 1,000, but you can put up 1,000.
depends on what month it is when I got going on.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta invest and put some money into some shit.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just
It's like, look,
depends.
spring
That's
break
smart.
is around the
Look here,
corner.
look,
Don't ask me about saving
appearance
that.
purposes is just for a purpose. It's
Yep.
not just. I
Yep.
mean, never mind. That's a lie.
So,
I
and her-
actually
and her-
regardless.
and-
never mind.
And
But
her
yeah.
and basically
I'm
what
good
she's
with
saying,
saving. I'm
she
good.
might as well open up a business bank account. 'Cause she
Yeah.
saves
I
her money,
had
you would
one, I
get
just
fucking
didn't- it
funded with
wasn't
no
active.
problem. Then.
Yeah.
Well, we're definitely talking after this. I've got a couple LCs
Yeah, for
with
sure,
business
'cause-
No, we
accounts. that
talking
I've
now.
got money
Business
flowing.
Use your,
loans,
we
for
can
sure.
use other people's situations or our situations for the world to hear. You know what I mean? Like me, prime example. I just opened up two business bank accounts, right? One with BOA, and I opened one with First National Bank.
Okay.
First, is it First? First America. What is it called?
Was the one I sent you to?
Yeah.
First International Trust
First
and Bank.
International Trust, ladies and gentlemen. Correct the shit.
First International Trust. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I
like
sent
a
them over there.
That's kind of
Yeah,
a
so
tongue
I
twister.
opened up
First-
That's
two,
what I do
right?
all my ATM business
So I
with.
got, I'm finna have my taxes coming to the other one. I got my checks coming to the other one. You get what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let this one. I'm gonna let my check sit in this one. Then I'm gonna transfer it to the other one. So I'm looking like I'm making business transfers. You know what I'm
Actually, we
saying?
may not
He's
want to tell
trying
the
to
people
beat
this
the
one. The
system,
government's all
y'all.
like,
He's like-
noted what
That's
he's
smart, though.
doing.
And
That's
why
smart.
would you
That's
say
smart.
that?
That's smart.
It is very smart, but you just
I think a
told
lot.
them.
Because I feel
You
like
just
you.
said.
I was gonna say like you need
One
to
who
have
thinks a lot has
transactions
thoughts.
coming in.
Transactions coming
But
in.
that's
You
You
want
very
to see
smart.
transactions coming in and out.
That's
They
why
wanna
I
see
did
Right,
too,
that's
bro.
what they want to
account.
see.
Because it's like you paying yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
prime example, they say that if you open up a business, like he has the ATM, right? Steve have a son. So when he opened up the ATM business, I do a little research on myself, young man. So Steve, he got the ATM business, right? He make his son Jace an employee of his company. And so when they handing out funding, you get even more funding because now you have to pay your employee, which you just paying yourself. That's all these people doing.
I mean,
I had this-
in
I had this-
hindsight, yeah.
I had I met this white guy, super cool. He was putting me on. He was like, bro, he was like, the only thing these people do different is they just think. They do the research. If they have 3 kids, you're going to put 3 employees on your stuff. Your kids can be employees. You can't get in trouble for that. Jace can be an employee
I
for
did
your
not know
ATM
that.
business. So when they do grants and they say how many employees you have, and they be like, we're giving 20,000, but if you have an extra employee, that's an extra 10,000. Now Steve will get 30,000 because he could put his girlfriend on there and his son as his employees. Now Steve is getting 40,000.
Okay.
And Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right.
He's like,
You're right.
he's
You know
like,
what
you
I'm
up to
saying? I'm
something.
just listening to you talk.
I had to
Yeah.
learn it, bro. I had to learn it, bro. Like I did a lot of research for myself. Me and Steve was talking one day. I said I'm gonna start following people with podcasts and credit. I want to learn credit
Yeah.
and business credit, and I start following a whole bunch of people, and it's a lot of females winning off the business credit. It's crazy.
You know what? Really? Because I just see like, well, on my timeline, a lot of males.
A lot of man,
And
a
I'm
lot
like,
of women in
damn.
Texas, LA.
Yeah,
they
Texas
winning off
for sure.
They winning like what you do. Oh my God, you will open up a new bank account like he just said.
Mm-hmm.
You give with him, no time she'll have under.
Yeah.
Because you get like you know how to save. Like that's
Right.
the hardest part. Like you let it sit. You have a goal. You set
If
goals
I have a
and
goal,
you actually do it.
I do. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. If I set them, I do it.
Yeah.
See, what you said is like good there though. Like you said, you're learning. I tell people all the time, the more you learn, the more you earn. So you go,
Dang, that's hard.
You learn more information, you gonna earn more money. So like you didn't know that information, but you did your research, and people don't know about the funding. Like we're lucky enough to be in a country that actually offers credit. Most countries don't offer this.
For real? Most countries don't offer credit?
No.
Hold on, time out.
on
We
now.
gotta let the real know this.
Come on.
So
Third world.
you telling us right now, in other countries they don't offer what?
Credit. It's probably a couple, like Canada. I don't know, maybe a Europe, but not.
But if you
Super
think about
crazy.
third world countries, you think
We the land of the free for real. We be complaining here, and it's like sometimes you got to stop complaining in life because you go to other countries and it could be worse.
Yeah.
Listen, I always think about India,
A lot of
man.
trivial
When I
stuff.
start to
Yeah.
complain about things here, I think about India. I was like, wait a minute. They don't have sewer systems. Everything's just flushed outside with them.
They got
down
no
the
sewer
roads.
systems.
They got
Tigers running around
nothing.
just hunting and shit. Like,
Right. I'm sure of it. But yeah, I think about India all the time. Ooh, the water shit. Whenever they got the water trucks pulling up, they got their jugs beating the shit out of each other, trying to get the water out of the tanks. That's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy. So it's for me. Yeah, I man, I got to talk to you, man, because I'm trying to get $100,000, bro, for my company.
Okay.
But
I'm
I've
trying
got
to
the
get
income
some for
backing
my
it up though.
non-existent company.
My credit's fucked, but I got the income though on the other side of it with the businesses and the LLCs. They're good though. They're straight. That's how I take care of the family and everything else.
So, quick question: is this something that you learned on your own, or someone taught you?
So I actually last year, so I moved out here about a year and like 3 months ago. Last year I spent about $50,000 on mentorship. So I was like paying, and every single time I was paying more money, I was learning more shit. I was like,
okay.
I gotta keep on learning. So I was actually at the gym one time, and you know Juan, right? Juan, the lefty, you know what I'm talking about?
Keep going.
D's like,
Juan?
did I beat him in basketball?
So
Did I beat him?
So
You got me on
win,
here.
that's the
I
question.
win. That's the important part.
but I was like, yo, I need funding. And Juan's like, yo, you got to do your research. Like, you need 10 accounts. You need this and that. And I'm like, damn, let me go do my research. So for a week straight, I'm on YouTube, staying up late, like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just watching videos on credit funding. I'm just like, damn. So then I invested into another mentorship. I'm like, all right, this is a good one. Then I got into that. And then a week later, I was like, I need this other one too. Let me get this other one too. So I started to invest into it. And then I realized, like, I can actually do this. I had no credit. I actually had like a 600 probably. And I was able to take it to an 800.
Wow.
And I spent it 90 days. So for me, I was just like, all right, the more information I'm learning, but a lot of people don't know this information. And that's why people don't want to invest in themselves. I tell people all the time, you want to invest in
Invest into
yourself.
yourself.
And the thing is, it's going to cost you way more to be in the same position a year from now than it is to invest in yourself today. I tell people that all the time.
Hey, bro, two things. He said,
That's some
Oh,
good.
that's
we
good.
were
I
just
never thought about
already
that
talking
one.
about if
No,
we invest
seriously.
into blogs, we would take this to another level. That's number one. Number two is this, right? Just for the real to hear. What you just said is everything. People don't realize when you can start you a business, an LLC, right? Prime example. You could be a creator on content, right? I tell her this all the time. And you can start your business. When you start your business, you go pay for an address. You don't put your house as your address because some fundings will not allow you to get the funding if it's a house address. I do my research.
Yeah,
And
you-
on top of
you-
that,
I'm
it's
saying?
just
I'm not
how that
African American. I'm
information is
Caucasian. I'm
disclosed.
Caucasian, by
From the
way.
mountain of
Because I
Caucasus.
have one, and I didn't put my address. I used a random one.
Yep. You create
I just never used
it's
it.
little stuff that stops us. On
Yeah.
top of it, y'all got to, I'm going to put this for my people right here. I'm Caucasian, but this for my people. I'm the same color, but I'm Caucasian. Listen, this for my people of color. This for my people. And this for my
But he's
people.
Caucasian.
I'm Caucasian, though. This for my people. When y'all start a
You
business.
Cajun seasoning, not Caucasian.
Cajun seasoning.
Cajun.
You may got some Cajun seasoning, but I don't know if
I'm salt without the pepper. But let me
I don't know
tell
if
y'all
anyone's
something
buying the
real quick.
Caucasian though, but I'll buy the Cajun.
So
Cajun
listen.
for sure. We're buying it.
When y'all start these business, when you start your business up, right? If there's anybody that start a business, Start you a business with a regular name. Stop doing your name.
Yeah.
D'Angelo's Enterprises. You get what I'm saying? Now that's cool and all, but maybe do like something more professional, because then they may take you more serious. Because your name may steer them off from giving you the funding, from giving you a grant, from giving you a loan.
And is he on the right track with that?
I was gonna say that's sort of right, but at the same time, it's kind of not. So the name is important, but the biggest red flag. So I tell people you have to look up the NAICS code.
What's
so
that?
So it's like what they categorize your business as.
So
wrong. If you put trucking, you put real
that makes
estate,
sense.
those are like red flags. They're not gonna give you funding because those are high risk industries. So things that are high risk industries, they're not gonna give you. And in the past, a lot of people say consulting, but now everybody and their mother's using consulting. So I say something simple as like enterprises. Like that'd be something that's good.
Enterprises.
But you can use your name. You can still use your name. It doesn't matter. It's just when you're using those high risk industries like real estate and the trucking business, because at the end of the day, if they were to give you funds, trucks break down all the time. Real estate, different things happen. Pipe might break. Heater might go down.
Or
So
I may
it's
have a
all
dog
around.
business. What you're saying? Don't use dogs. Use D'Angelo Enterprises, because then I could use that for anything, and I
Yes.
get funded for anything.
Yes.
Or some people may not want to give me funding for dog business.
Right. You wouldn't
So
say
you put-
something.
Yeah.
In whatever field he's saying that is a high risk, like trucking because of truck breakdowns,
But you can see that online
real
too.
estate, whatever the fuck it is, right? Don't use that.
Yeah. You can search it up online, like the high risk industries. You can check up the NAICS code, and then you can see like this is a high risk industry, so
Okay.
you'll know
Well,
not to
that's-
actually go into it. And the biggest thing, like you were saying, the address can matter, but it also doesn't matter in a sense, only because, like me, I have bank reps in the bank. So I have people that actually work in Chase Bank, Bank of America, U.S. Bank, Navy Federal, people that are going to push applications through. So if one of you three were to just go do it yourself, you might be able to go get from Chase Bank $10,000. Me, I'll go get $100,000 for that client because I have people that's going to push my application, push those limits through. But when you're doing it yourself, it doesn't really work the same because it's just going to give you based on what's there. But those bank reps will push it through that number that you want. You want two $50,000 cards, bet we're going to push it through and we're going to make it happen. So that's the biggest difference that people don't know, because a lot of people will try to go get funding for themselves and they might only get $6,000.
Right.
And it's like,
Because that's all they kind
that
of know,
point-
though. They're like, okay, I can get 6, cool, but if you can get more.
exactly.
I've
know.
learned in today's
I
economy,
did-
20
I
and 30,
That's-
20,
that's
30K
very
doesn't get you
interesting.
get you anywhere anymore. You need that. I feel like that 100K is that new marker for, especially when you're investing into a business or building a business. At least for me, it's just like I had an opportunity to get 40, 50K of funding for my ATM business, but I was like, no, that's not even going to put a dent on what I truly need to expand right now. I was like, I need that 80K and up. So
what I learned about when people get funding too, also like investors, when you come to them with a plan and you be like, hey, I need 10, 20,000, they look at you like you crazy. So I was trying to get funding for a movie, right? And I'm like, whoa, 25,000. And they, like you said, they 100,000 or more.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, we're not the people for you because we give out 100,000
This
or
ain't
more.
Friday
It was
the
like,
first
that's all
movie.
you need.
D's like, wait, no, you are the
Friday,
people
the
for
first
me. Hold on.
Also, what I
100K
learned-
shit, that's easy.
also-
Friday, their budget
also
was
what I learned-
was super low, right? For
Huh?
Friday, the movie Friday.
Yeah, they had a
Back in
low
the days,
budget, yeah.
times
No,
was
I know. I'm
changed.
just
That was
saying though,
5,000.
but that was like
5,000 out of their
20K for
pocket
them,
though.
right?
5,000 out of their pocket.
Right,
Yeah,
but I'm saying that was
$5,000
like a
budget.
low budget, and
And they made
it's
all
a
that
hit.
classic. It's still making
It's
money.
a hit.
It's still making money.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's crazy about the movies industry? Right now, you see who bought that Super Bowl? Tubi. Tubi worth of $1 billion. They movie is making.
That's where I watched it at, yeah.
So we just did the Jealous X, right? My
That's where
boy.
you watched it? Yeah.
He finna clock in probably like 160,000 in 4 months off a $30,000 budget. That's 4 months. Within a year, you're gonna clock 500.
Damn.
Man, checking the bag off Tubi. Imagine you got 10 movies.
Let
they
me
pay,
know when the next Tubi movie is
Yeah.
you filming for.
They pay this. They pay us up, bro. They paying them
Me and
actors.
that motherfucker.
So, like prime example, if you
Me
was to
too.
become a Tubi,
Yeah, all of us.
a Tubi actor, right?
Yeah.
Her first she did 4 to 5 movies. After that, she can get anywhere from. So we pay like Jamal Willard. He's $5,000 a day.
Okay.
You
And
know
that's
what I'm
just for
saying? A
him,
day.
or that's for? Because I know you mentioned to me like the price each day you guys get paid.
Yeah,
Is it
so
just-
like
his price,
somebody
his
like
price,
you
hey,
that's
his
new-
price may be going down
somebody
lower
like
now
you that's
though.
new be 200. Somebody like you that's new 200 a day.
200 a day.
200 a day. Really new in Hollywood world.
But how many days though?
It'd be like how many days they need you for that role.
Right.
So your role may be
So-
4 days or maybe 7 days.
Right.
You never know.
Hey, that you said Jamal Willard, right?
Yeah.
His price tag might be getting lower now though.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Jamal Willie, that's my boy. Shout out to Jamal
He
Willie,
said
man.
first.
No. The reason I say that
I know what
is
you're talking about.
He's like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
he might be.
He's
We might
at
be able to get him for a good deal now, man, because he's getting torn down. Apparently, they said he attacked some black women on an interview. So,
When?
like he was going after some black women, like just talking about them.
Yeah.
It was like a few
all
days
he
back.
really said was that he get more respect and love from women out the country than his own woman of color.
okay.
That's all he really said.
Yeah.
He felt like more other races respect the black man more.
They do.
That's what he was always saying.
Yeah.
It just depends. Like she's Blasian, so it's different. Like she's Blasian. Like you know what I'm saying? So she don't even count. Like,
D's like,
I had to
just
think
to
about what you're
clarify,
talking- yeah.
just to clarify for everyone.
Steve is Caucasian, but he's from Texas, so he's like Caucasian and black.
He got Cajun.
This motherfucker like chicken. He like church's chicken.
That's right.
Both.
I swear to God, he tell you which church's chicken to go to, which one is authentic.
Steve
I'm not
is a
lying.
different type.
He's a real nigga.
He got the
like
Cajun.
Steve. Let me tell y'all something about Steve.
He said, yeah.
So listen,
Yeah, I'm a little wild.
my
It's all good,
cousin
though.
Kenny, they call him Skinny in L.A. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? He from Main Street Crips and all that, man.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, geez.
he called me like, man, this nigga Steve crazy. I said, why you said? He said he over there on Figueroa waiting for Rick Ross, Freeway Rick, the real Rick Ross.
Right. He
With
said
all
the
his
real one, not
camera
the fake
equipment
one.
outside waiting in the hood for him to come in the heart of the hood.
Worst part of two.
Where all the
worst part
bloods
of
are in the heart of the hood. He just sitting over there like it's nothing. I say, this motherfucker from Texas, bro. He catch alligators. He good.
Right. He wrestled with them for a living. That's good.
Hey, and listen, man, you know, I would watch hookers get beat up, all kinds of stuff going
my
on
God.
out there. And I never, listen, I was like, for me, when
Is
I was out there in
Figueroa
Figueroa,
that bad?
it's very bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Jeez.
So once the sun goes down, you can't be outside.
That's crazy. I would never.
But yeah, so no, me and Rick were on the block one time. It was Figueroa Street, and we heard a lot about like yelling, screaming, and some. And so we were like, "What the fuck is that?" So we ran around the corner and we see a hooker getting beat up by like some Crips. And we're like, "Ah,
my
man." We just turned back
goodness.
around. We're like, "Oh, we didn't see that." We went back to our regular programming.
Now
But,
the question always remains: what the fuck were y'all doing on Figueroa Street?
No, that's
We
where
were back to where we.
that's where Rick and them live. You know, so we oh yeah, no, don't make no mistake.
Rick bought a brand new house over. So like
Shut
the
the
block Rick live on.
Yeah, he lives
Oh, look,
in
look,
South
look.
Central.
You know-
He don't want to leave it. He don't want to leave South
So
Central.
no, it's actually his block he live on is all homeowners. It's actually a nice block.
Okay.
But when you come outside of that block, it's
It's
bound
like-
behind the blood.
I was gonna say, hold on.
How can I
Wait a
get
minute.
up there?
That is not a nice block. First
no,
off,
that block.
let's rewind that one.
He's like, let's revisit that.
What is nice over there about it? Because as far as I all the times I'm over there, I'm told like, hey man, you got to get inside. They're bleeding the block right now. God damn. All right, let's go inside.
So you were saying you guys were like continue on with your business on Figueroa Street.
Yeah, we just be chilling out there. Hookers getting beat up, drug dealers, crackheads all
insane.
around. Hey, listen, but you know, Rick's got so much respect over there
Yeah.
that nobody. There's one time. Okay, so I will say this. There's one time they told me that the Crips were going to come over here and take my shoes. I told them, I said, well, you know what? How about this? If they come over here and they can get them off my feet, they can have them. That's what I said. Rick got in the middle
You
of it.
are a gangster, Steve.
Rick got in the
He
middle
said,
of it.
Come get him.
Well, I was very clear about it. Listen,
You're just so
if
rowdy. That's
you
that Texas in you, like just rowdy.
maybe I just maybe it's
Ready to
maybe
fuck
it's
shit up,
maybe it's like
just-
pride or something. But you
It
don't touch me,
is,
man.
Like,
So Rick, of course, got in the middle of it. He was like, "Oh, hold on." He's like, "No, they're not touching Steve. Steve's family. Like, hold on now. Like, wait a minute." Like, Rick, I was like, "No, let them come on over here." Like, shit, if they can get them off my
Get
feet,
my
they're
shit.
theirs. They can
That is
have them. They
crazy.
earned them. But
They
they gotta
earned
earn. But they're gonna earn it. They gotta earn them. If they want them, they gotta earn it.
oh my goodness, that's funny.
D, you lived on Figueroa for a while. You liked it.
You lived on Figueroa, D?
He did. He stayed over there on Rick's for a while.
Like,
fault,
for
y'all.
real, dead ass?
I was in that live. Yeah, I lived over there. So when I first got out here, let me tell y'all something about me. I came out here and with my uncle, and my uncle went to the feds. You know what I'm saying? He got caught buying guns from here, taking them to California. And they caught bodies on the guns from different gangs and shit. He was selling the gun. I guess, allegedly, they said. He ain't do nothing, though. But listen,
No, but listen.
But I ended up having to go stay with Uncle Freeway Rick in his office. I stayed in his office outside on the floor. Yeah, on the airbed. You get what I'm saying? And then I just came up from there. Once I was on the airbed, I said, I can't. He said, Pimp, you can't do nothing but go up from here. That's what he said.
But that's true. Oh my
That's
God,
how
in
I met Steve.
hindsight,
Steve
that's
came to
true.
the office. Him and his partner with
That is
20,000 trying to
so
get
amazing.
Unc them to do some business. Unc manager unfortunately said, "Nah, me and Steve, it's crazy. We didn't even know we the same side." I was like, I feel bad because they came correct. I'm like,
Yeah.
I got you, bro. I'm gonna get y'all in the game. I was like, help me shoot this movie. Steve like, oh, that's easy, bro. We got cameras. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And we locked in ever since.
Aw,
Like,
I love that.
Yeah, D went to sleep on the air mattress listening to hookers
It's
and,
only up from here. I
gangbangers
love
fighting
that.
outside. He was like, so used to it. So when he moved to Arizona, he's like, man, I got to move to the hood for a
This
little
is
while because I
great,
need to
right?
hear,
Yeah.
I need to hear hookers and gangbangers fighting outside.
You know, and that's crazy though, because it's like with people who live here or were raised here, we're like, I fucking hate Arizona. It's this and that. But then you got other people from other walks of life that come here and they're like, oh, this is nothing. This is great.
Shit, go live on
So
Figueroa
it's
for a while
like-
and then come
it's-
talk to me.
It's a different perspective to kind of take in mind.
yep. Now, before we let you off, man, is there anything else you want to explain to the people, or you want the
Yeah,
people
what are
to know
your
about
future
you?
goals? Like, what do
She
you
coming
have?
with it.
Any plans that you have going on? What can we expect from Amir in the next year?
Yeah, so my biggest goals right now is I have a mentorship and like a course available for people. So I want to have in a year from now about 100 students, at least 25 of them making $15,000 a month. And like in my program, I teach them about credit, I teach them about funding, I teach them about the solar. So it's like there's 3 different avenues that they can really make a bag off of. It's all about what they choose to do. Because at the end of the day, like I might charge somebody funding, I might get them $100,000. I charge 10% for that.
Okay.
And then, for instance, you could go credit,
not bad.
charge a bunch of people, in solar, a bunch of money there too. So I just want to teach as many people and change their lives because I understand like how investing in myself changed my life. So I want to also help people invest in themselves, but then also see that they didn't waste their time because there's a lot of programs that are out there and they don't really help you at all. Like a lot of people don't really care and love on the people. And I feel like the more that I love on the people and change their lives, the more money I'm going to make at the end of the day. It's going to make me feel better, more fulfilled. So
Would you say those programs are more based towards them making money as opposed to the person actually making money?
I think
Instead of
it's,
someone like you who wants to make money as well, but want other people to make money too.
I can go one or two ways, right? So a lot of programs do have the information, but people don't. People will buy stuff and don't really go through it. They'll go through it one time and think I know everything. And that was my mistake too when I joined a couple programs myself. I went through it one time and I'm like, I know everything. But sometimes rewatching those videos over and over again, you're gonna see the fine details that you might have missed. And that detail might have made you an extra $10,000, but you only went through it once because you're like, I'm good. And now you're blaming the person for not really teaching you anything, but you didn't really try to learn it. But then there's also programs that are out there that don't really teach you much. I see a lot of content creators and courses, people that make courses, they might coach like I'm doing sales, I do sales, and they make more money off their courses than they did ever in sales. But they tell everybody they made all this money off of sales.
Right.
And everybody buys into it and they don't really learn from it. So
Yeah, I've learned.
That's the thing.
I learned that lesson.
That's the thing.
I learned that lesson when it came to like products and marketing. I found courses from people who actually that really did it, made the money from the products and the marketing, and I paid a couple $1,000 for those courses. That was like years ago. That's what led me to creating products and doing this, right? But then I ran into some that had courses I was watching that they, like you said, they showed the mansions, they showed the cars, but it wasn't through the marketing techniques, it wasn't through these things how they got to it.
yeah.
It was other ways, but they now are using that lifestyle to like, hey, buy these courses, and then like I'm like, wait
That's
a
how
minute,
you reel people in, though. You
not
know, that's
ex-
marketing itself.
and it works.
That's
It
how you
suckers
reel
people.
in.
I saw that shit, and I was like, you bum mother.
I mean, everybody sold off the dream. Like, D
Yep. Of
always,
course.
D always
It's
gets on me all
America.
the time. Like, why are you posting money? And I'd be like, D, like,
It's the only way to
you
get their attention.
You gotta understand, this is what people like to see. I might be in the club around a bunch of women. Why are you don't gotta post all these women? I'm like, D, like, I'm like, yo, like, this is what people
Marketing.
want to see. Men that are my age, maybe older, they're a lot in their mind. They can't even get with a woman, but they're thinking to themselves, okay, if I do this, I might be able to get with 5, 6 women. Like, my life is totally different.
Right.
So I got to show that life to them.
They want that
Right.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
No,
They're like,
it makes
if I can
sense.
have that,
Makes
if he's got that lifestyle, I can
Makes
have that
sense.
lifestyle if I'm doing what he told me
It's
I
been
got to
a
do.
formula for
Yeah.
as long as time.
Exactly.
I don't know.
But you're actually giving them the real shit though. You're actually showing them like the real, like, no, you definitely can get this lifestyle by following this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the few that actually tell the truth on
I
it.
just try to tell you to come with class like how you do like today. You dress
with
with
class.
class. You talk with class. Like you do, you talk very well and you represent yourself very well to the point they like, okay, I want to learn.
Yeah.
So
That
when you come like
matters.
that, it don't matter about no money. You represent
right.
yourself so well that they want to do business with you.
yeah,
You
you're
know
your
what
own
you're talking
brand.
about, bro. You just explained so much that Steve was like, hey, shit, after this, and Hey, what
And
can I
Steve
learn?
know a lot.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
everything.
So
Yeah.
he know you smart because he know you dumb because he just play it off like,
This
yeah,
guy
man.
knows everything.
Steve be like, yeah, man, keep going, keep learning. He like, nah, fuck that, I want to learn because
Yeah.
Right.
he been in the business world for a long time. So,
But you
Leah, me, so it's like
you are your brand.
Yeah, you
So
are
how
your
you
brand.
carry yourself, how you bring
you
yourself
very
to the
well
table.
spoken. She right.
Yeah, man.
That's
We
what people
appreciate
see.
you
Yeah.
dropping some gems on us
So,
today,
yeah,
man.
for sure.
Dropping some
And
knowledge.
Yes.
we're
We'll have to
the
connect,
type of
for sure.
podcast that we accept everybody. We just don't want to be hip hop. You know what I'm saying? We want to be different. You know what I mean?
Of
So that's
course.
when you telling me what you do, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. At first I'm thinking like, everybody at the gym tomorrow, you got some bad females on there. I'm like, come on, but you actually, this is smart because these clips. What did Ponce do when he interviewed with us? He used that same clip.
He
and
does
promote
a
himself
lot
with that
all the
clip
time. He's the same thing.
and it looked
to
professional.
promote his shit.
And he's
Yeah.
steady growing and growing and growing. And
Yeah,
he
Ponce
say,
did his thing, yeah.
Post for
Yeah.
fun or post for funds.
Yeah.
That's a
That's the
fact.
main thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like Leah said, like you are your
You are your brand.
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You definitely always got to invest in yourself. Like I said, I invested so much money in mentorships. I was on that Glow J's interview. I invested into that. I got American Income coming up. I'm about to do that, and then I'm gonna go to Bandman Kevo as well. So I'm always investing.
you going
like,
to Bandman Kevo?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
always
you investing? Because what are you
Yeah,
charging?
Yeah.
I'm
What are
always
you charging? Like
invested.
10,000 or more?
It's like 7.
Congrats.
But Bandman, he's smart though, man. That dude knows.
Yeah,
That dude's
bro.
a marketing
It's
genius.
Bandman Kevo got that.
But he's a market. But
Like a
Bandman
cheat
Kev's
code,
a
man.
marketing genius, though,
Genius,
man.
yeah.
That dude.
I'll go
genius.
with you to that one. I'll go with you to that one. You know, we from Chicago, me and him.
Yeah.
He unlocked cheat codes.
Wait, how
You know
much
what
is
I'm saying?
it? How
For
much
real,
is it to?
They on a whole nother. They in
Right.
Miami driving like Batman mobiles. Like they driving
No, I know.
like shit.
I
that
know.
you-
So my mentor is really good friends with him, and then like Glow J's, I'm cool with Glow J's now. Dad is really good friends with him too. So that's how I had that connection. Because a lot of people don't really realize sometimes people get on these platforms, and everybody like I'm just gonna tell the truth. Like a lot of people think, oh, they're good enough to be on these platforms. They got invited to it. People pay the money. But because they're on that platform, now you're getting credibility. Like now it's firsthand, like, okay, he's a reliable source. So now I can go to him to make money because he's on this platform. He had to have done something. But a lot of people don't know that. But that's why I tell people too, like with the funding, like the bag is endless. Invest in yourself. Because in my mind, I'm like, if I spend 5, I'm gonna make at least 10 back. I spend 20, I'm at least make another 40 back. Like, so you got to keep on going. It's next levels. Like I don't condone saving money. I don't, like in my mind. I want it, in my mind, is like another investment. And so I'm really at the
Investments is for
level I
the
want to get
future,
to.
I'm the same way. I
People
don't.
don't know what to invest in.
Mm-hmm.
They just spend it.
Yeah. And they don't want to do the research. Nobody wants
True.
to do research.
wants to do research. Yeah, of course. Too much work.
And they want to blame everybody else for
Uh-huh.
the situation at
Yep.
the end. Their mom
And be like,
their
well,
daddy.
this person's doing
Yeah.
this. And I can't do that. But, you just have to do it. You have to, like you said, invest in yourself. So,
And I think the biggest thing is people just don't believe it too. Like you rarely. That's why I love living out here in Arizona because I see G wagons, I see McLarens, Lambos all the time. But where I'm from, I've probably seen 2 G wagons my whole entire life.
oh, shit.
So people don't. If you come from where I'm from, like people don't believe it. They don't believe that shit's actually possible. But getting out to traveling, leaving your hometown, going to new places, you're able to see that the millions are possible. It's about, are you going to be the person in your family to take that risk? Or are you going to continue the generational curses and blame everybody else?
That's the
It's all
thing.
to you.
Generational curses.
I was just telling them.
That's
I
the
said
thing.
so many people was taking flight with the podcast where me and you was talking about, and all it is just you get some funding. All they do is they getting some of them getting 20,000. They just invested into one interview to take them flight. You get what I'm saying? Or like we come up with some creative like where we all going to pop the balloon or something. I see what they doing, bro.
Screaming, not all of us. at
I
the
see what they
same time.
doing though.
D, I'm not allowed. I can't go on. I can't go on Pop the Balloon,
Well,
bro.
Yeah,
Of course,
he's
most people-
married.
Well, I'm also. I don't think white people are on there though.
It's not.
So what?
There's white
You
people
were
or
the
something
first
else.
one.
It is.
The first season.
No, the thing
I go.
is this. Most
I go
people
on
on
there.
there is in relationships.
Do this thing. I know,
Most
let's
people
do
on
this
there is in
thing.
relationships. They just
Listen, if they get us all in one episode, I'm down. But
yeah,
I don't,
because
otherwise, I don't want
most
to
people
go on there.
not
I just
looking for
don't.
love on there. It's
I don't know.
you get
It's-
more clout.
It's exposure. That's all it really comes out to.
But
It's exposure.
well, yeah. I mean, you could tell that people go on there just for exposure, and that's fine. I mean, you're working it.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at Aaron the plumber.
Aaron
That
the plumber, I
man's.
was about to say
Well, come
that.
on now.
Yeah,
Hey.
look at Aaron Plumber, man.
But
He's a boy. And
I
not
will
only that, he
only
became
go
the
if
most
we're all
viral.
on there. If we're not, I will never go on that show.
Yeah.
Sorry,
for sure.
but you're about to go on there, yeah?
I'm thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
You
Because
should,
I'm
D.
building a
I can see
brand.
you on there.
I'm building a brand, so I may go on there right now.
But you gotta come correct though.
Huh?
Like you gotta really stand out. You can't be on
Listen.
somebody.
Well, that's what I told him. Remember, I told you
The
in
way
that
he
in
is
that
in these
deal.
podcasts, like perfect. Perfect.
Well, that clip
Use
that I sent
but
you.
times 10 when you get on there, you're good.
Well, it's like that clip I sent in the group of him that
Yeah,
when
that
he
was
did.
like that was my
You
favorite
bring
clip of
that
you,
on to
for
pop
sure.
the balloon, bro.
If
Aaron
a
the
girl
plumber's
pop my
gonna have
balloon,
to.
be like, what you pop mine for?
No, you gotta look. You're gonna use your acting skills like you're.
Here's the deal, though.
actor.
But I've also learned with Pop the Balloon, the ones who really go the most viral are the ones who are selecting, not the ones that line. You got to be the one. You got to be somehow. You got to convince them to make you the one to select the girls because that's where you're gonna have the most camera attention.
I'm gonna
on
ask
you.
them. I'm finna set it up.
You know what's crazy? My friend was on there, and it's crazy because she didn't tell me she was gonna be on there. I just saw it, and the way she acted on there, she never acts in real life. So I was so surprised, and she went
That's
viral
how I
for
go.
that.
She has to.
She was saying all kind of crazy shit. I was
You
just
have
like,
to.
girl, what?
That's how I
Yeah.
go.
Don Miliano
The
was
way
on
she
there,
was
man.
acting.
He should have.
He was on there?
He should have went crazy,
No, he
bro.
was on there?
Yeah, he was on it.
What
He was
episode
on
was
it.
he on there?
It was like the latest one they did. He was on there.
Yeah, he was
on
there.
there.
Yeah, he
Shout
should have
out
went.
to
He
Don-
should have went crazy,
Shout out to
man.
Don
Shout out to
Miliano,
Don.
my boy, man. Shout out to Don Miliano, man. Arizona trending.
Yeah.
No, I think he made it all the way though. I think he walked with the girl. I think he did find love.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think he did.
I
yeah.
gotta.
We gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Hold on, we gotta watch this.
If I remember correctly, I think he did find
Bro, you
love.
found love?
He
Bro, you
ended up
found
with-
love?
Hey, but
You gotta
know,
call. That's why I
hey,
ain't heard from your ass in a while. You in love.
When he was on there though, he was like, "Hey,"
He's
when he
in
was
the
on there
fucking
though, bro,
honeymoon
he was
stage.
hitting him with this. He was like, yeah.
That motherfucker
Like,
silky
you
smooth.
know
Don
what the
Miliano, silky smooth. That motherfucker came in that bitch with the long jacket.
The
That
long
motherfucker
jacket.
silky
You know
smooth.
he's gonna do a long
Yeah,
jacket.
he's silky smooth with it, boy.
He was hitting, but he had like the lower voice where he was like, yeah.
That motherfucker
with the
smooth.
hat. With the hat.
Bro, you smoother than a
shit.
can of oil, boy.
Yeah.
Shout out
I
to
love
Don
Don.
Miliano, man.
He's so sweet.
For sure.
That was funny, man. That was funny.
But yeah, we appreciate you coming out. Is there anything, one more thing you want to say to the people, or you good?
Shit, follow me on Instagram.
Right.
at-
What's your Instagram?
At dfa.mir, MIR. Follow me on Instagram. I got ebooks. I got courses available, mentorship. You want to change your life. Invest in yourself today. Don't wait.